Into this video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all a stock that is about to make a massive move very soon, and why y'all should keep it in your watch list. We're also going to look at some of the stocks that I've mentioned in the last video, along with the overall market. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the NASDAQ futures, and so far today was kind of a lackluster day, and I say that because the daily candle was a doji. I hate dojis, small little candles that doesn't provide too much opportunity in the middle of the day for a day trade. All right, and the trading action is kind of sloppy. Today it went nowhere, and right now it looks like I don't want tomorrow to be another doji. That would suck, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. It's bouncing on decreasing volume right here. Again, this is called a divergence when the price is going up but the volume is going down. This is an indication that, again, we might roll over. I still believe, I'm still leaning more bearish. I still think that we're gonna make a move down. All right, and I still believe that QQQ is going to fill this gap. For tomorrow, watch carefully how we open. Like right now, we're not, the futures are open. The futures are moving right now, but they're not down or up by too much. In the morning, keep in mind of how we're open, whether we gap up or down. If we gap down, we might see a candle go as low as 425 and then close the day at 426 before we continue downward. All right, I think we're gonna gap down. I think, because this is not an indication of strength that you're seeing. These little candles that are forming right here, definitely not an indication of strength. So just keep that in mind going forward. Now, the stock that is setting up for a massive move very, very soon, that stock is Etsy. All right. Now, with Etsy, it's complicated. All right. It looks like it's about to make a massive move, but there is an obstacle in the way. And that obstacle is, of course, earnings report. All right. It's going to report earnings on the 1st of May, as you can see right here, during the after hours. That's why I'm sharing it early in today's video. Now, the reason why I want to share it is because, number one, the stock has been demolished since the highs of 307 all the way down to negative 77%. All right, kind of like what happened with PayPal. If you haven't watched that video, you definitely should, because today PayPal moved even higher towards that $68 mark. All right, it's getting really close. Tomorrow things will get interesting, but for this one, this is another stock. There is another setup on there. There is a fallen wedge on the chart right here. Okay, it's right there. It is a falling wedge because that bottom line is not exactly horizontal. It's a bit slanted down, and it broke down in a very sloppy fashion right here. All right, kind of messy, and the volume a little sus. All right, but earnings is going to make or break the stock. Keep your eyes out for it, for a gap up but not too high. We want a gap up above these short sellers who are located here. Above these individuals, that will be solid because their stop losses is located right at 72. So if we open up at 72 or slightly above it, we can take these individuals out along with these individuals out as well for the move all the way up to 78 bucks very soon, either the day after earnings or 2 days after earnings, because remember, it's reporting in the afternoon, not the morning. It's reporting in the afternoon on the 1st. All right, so definitely click Etsy in your watch list. The setup is there, and if earnings was not an issue, I would tell y'all this is it right here, right on the weekly time frame. And the price target would be much, much higher, like 85 bucks. But earnings is in the way, so we have to play this annoying game. All right. Now, another stock, another stock that I want to share with all of you, which I think y'all gonna like a lot. That stock is reported earnings in the morning, and that stock is Lilly. Okay. And with Lilly, let me clean up the chart. All right, Lilly looks like this. It had a huge run for months and months, almost for a year actually, since last March, February, March, yeah, since last March. And right now we're getting into May. It's been about 14 months. The stock has been trading really, really high. There's a gap to fill at the bottom at 660. All right, and the stock is just lingering right here, playing games. Watch closely of how it opens. If you look on the daily, it might not seem like the stock is ridiculously high, right? Or to some of you, it does seem like it. But things get really interesting when you look at like the weekly, for example. The weekly almost looks like a bubble that needs to burst, and it looks even more terrifying when you look at the monthly. So keep your eyes out for Lilly. I think this one is going to have the most interesting reaction through earnings that we're going to see this week, because there is so much room below, and it's been a long time since the stock had a good ripple. All right, so watch Lilly for a potential drop, and for, again, we want to see a negative reaction. Like any gap down below like 700, it's gonna cause a lot of fear, because previous level of support is located at 725, and it's been dancing around here for weeks, which is pretty annoying. So earnings might actually do it and really kick in that fear to all the dip bars in here. We might see that sell off finally on the stock. Now the next one, let's do an update on the stocks that I've mentioned in yesterday's video, primarily the Chinese stock Bilibili. Now I gave y'all a decent Chinese stock, all right, but it wasn't the best one. And for at least in hindsight, it turned out not to be the best one. I thought it would be, because the structure is, to me, the cleanest right now. The bullish pennant is there. Today it was a little green. It moved up higher than what it was on Friday to $13.35. It's edging closer towards $15. But one thing that I did tell y'all in the last video is that the laggers in that sector are catching up to the stocks that pumped the fastest. And the stock that pumped the fastest was Baba, which I gave y'all last week. This week, the one that really caught up was Baidu, unfortunately, right? So this is what I mean by I didn't give y'all the best Chinese stock, because I didn't know this one was going to be the best performing Chinese stock for today. I knew the money was going to flow that way, but I'm choosing which one specifically. Yes, a little it can be a little tricky. Sometimes it's a bit obvious, but this time I thought both of them would actually have this sort of gap, but only Baidu really outperformed everything else. And Baidu had the most volume today, as you can see, huge volume surge. I drew this trend line on there because it's getting into a new trend. As you can see, we have shorts located here, and then another group of shorts located here, and another group of shorts located right at like 110. And if this level breaks, which I think it will, Baidu is gonna run even higher. So keep your eyes on China. All right, keep your eyes on the Chinese stocks moving forward, because the money is flowing that way. Now, lastly, we gotta talk about Roblox. Because I shared Roblox with y'all, and congratulations to anybody who made some money on it to the short side. I told y'all, watch it for a short side. It's going to hit that line at the bottom, maybe dip even below before closing as a dragon fly doji, right? I was expecting that move last week. It only dipped to 34, which is at least a very, very basic level that I thought it would hit. Very, very basic, at like before bouncing up. And now we have a new setup on the weekly. If we check out the weekly, now the line on the right is in play. It's moving in that direction, right? So if I clean up everything, we have a left shoulder, a head, and then we have a right shoulder, which played out well. Earnings is coming up, so things might be a little interesting. Keep it in your watch list. Again, the neckline is all the way up here. If earnings is super generous and for some reason the stock posts miraculous numbers and the market loves it and the stock pumps, we could just see it make a big jump next week like that. All the way up. We could see it. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Just to complete the structure really, really quickly. We could see it. The setup is there. All right. So just pay attention to these little details moving forward. And hopefully you'll be able to make a lot of money in the markets this week and the next week. All right. So that's pretty much the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, remember, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I release these videos. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul and Guma and Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.